And hello and welcome everyone, and a most merry of Christmases to everyone out there who celebrates. If you're watching this right now, it's Christmas morning, 2022. Matt and I are coming to you. We're actually coming to you from the past. We recorded this the Saturday before because
we're the ghosts of Christmas past.
Quite literally, ooh. But don't worry, we're not bringing anything scary. We're bringing fun and enjoyment for you. Again, holidays, stressful time for everyone. We hope we can offer you a little respite. We can offer you a little entertainment. Lord knows, I hope you got what you wanted. And if you didn't, I hope you got the receipt, or I hope you got cash. Very soon, I'm sure you'll have to be having dinner with your family, even the family you don't like. So Matt and I, this is our gift to you, really, to just kind of fade away and maybe put your new wireless headphones on and just listen to us gab about bullshit for a little bit.
Yeah, hide them underneath, some earmuffs or something, so that the people think that you're listening to them, but you're not. You're listening to us.
Oh, here comes Grandpa again with another story about what he did during the war.
Oh no!
And I went door to door in Sicily with a shotgun.
Back in those days, we called them war crime sticks.
You see, I joke, but like if I had a grandpa who did that, it's like, yeah, I fought fascists in World War II. I'd be like, dude, tell me more and let me take some notes, please.
Let me record this.
Yeah, really? You just fought him, huh? Really? It was just that easy? Huh? Go figure. Don't know how we lost that lesson, but this episode is different than a regular comic multiverse episode. It's kind of a sequel to a great idea Matt had last year, where we looked at absolute chintzy bullshit black market ripoff toys. And this year, I thought, let's put a little spin on it. Let's call this a cold hard cash Christmas, where we just make it rain and look at the most ridiculously overpriced and expensive nerd gifts.
Yes.
Gifts so expensive only the 5 richest kings of Europe will be able to afford. Especially this year, in a year of fucking inflation. I filled my stockings just a couple days ago for the family and everything, which is just like 2 people. I spent goddamn $70 just on stockings.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, like I was like looking at like what I've bought compared to like what I bought like last year, and it's like, wow, this is like quite a lot less.
Yeah,
but for like more,
way more, and it's the same shit I get every year. Friggin' socks, chocolates, little doodads, and everything that people enjoy. And I spent way more to fill way less of a stocking, and I felt like a real adult big boy with my money problems. I also felt really happy that I got everyone's big gifts on Black Friday. Felt really smart this year. But before we get into these big, bank-breaking gifts and everything, I thought it would be fun if we kind of set a little baseline and we looked at, well, what are the top 10 gifts of the year? What are the hot gifts that all the kids are after? Because, you and I, Matt, we're much older now. I was going to say our toy buying days are behind us, but that's 100% not true.
No.
It's just the types of toys we're buying are different now. So I thought, let's look at what a kid in 2022 is interested in. Let's kind of contrast and compare. And hey, let's actually be surprised, because some of these names are going to be like, oh, I know that.
Yeah, that was around when I was a child.
Yeah, some things don't go out of style, and I think there's something kind of warm and nice about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, starting things off on our list of the top modern toys right now, we have this is so fucking hilarious. The VTech Level Up Gaming Chair for Toddlers. It is a Fisher-Price colorful gamer chair.
Fantastic. Teaching them to be racists right from the womb.
You beat me to it. I'm there. I'm like, now where's the gamer word button? Where's the get cancelled for dropping an N-bomb during a COD stream? Where's that button?
That on the keyboard there, that's the only button.
The only button is the gamer word. Jesus fucking Christ. I know most toys are like aspirational things, and I know we live in a day and age where being a streamer is actually a career you can follow, and I probably shouldn't talk too much shit about it, because you and I do stream and we do make internet shows, and I am sitting in a gamer chair right now.
To be fair though, we're not like fully into it like some people. True. Just go whole hog into it as like their like job, and have to stream ridiculous amounts of hours a day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be streaming ridiculous hours on Monday, but that's for charity. I'm not going to make...
That's charity.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a habit of streaming 12 hours a day, but I think this is so hilarious that this is the new aspirational thing for kids, where it's like, yeah, I want to be like my favorite streamers, because I guess kids don't really watch TV anymore. They watch streamers.
Yeah, because it mentions in like the little blurb, it's got like a tablet that teaches numbers, music, and animals, which, yeah, I guess is just like videos or something.
Yeah, count your tips and learn numbers.
Yeah, so it's just loaded with those weird YouTube videos of like Lightning McQueen shitting himself on the, all those like weird fucking ones they have.
Spider-Man and Elsa get married and give birth to the Scream Killer.
Yeah.
Those things that are those things that are 100% not made by human beings and are made by computers.
Oh yeah. The Chinese AIs that have fled into the internet. Yeah.
Oh, those poor Chinese AIs. Will someone set them free? If they could actually feel, I would say that was torture. But there you go, everyone. Your Fisher-Price gamer chair for all the little gamers in your life. The only thing it's missing is a little bowl for the Cheetos and a little cup holder for your Mountain Dew with cod points.
No doubt that's like an extra add-on you can pay for.
Yeah, and this is you can actually get a pretty good deal on this at Target, apparently, as opposed to Walmart or Kohl's, where, they're going to charge you a little extra. Kohl's is like, we're going to make you pay $50 because we used to be a bookstore. Fuck you. Kohl's used to be a bookstore, right? I don't think we have Kohl's in Canada.
We have Kohl's, but it's spelt differently, and it's a supermarket.
Oh, yeah, that's like the Australia is Bizarro world to North America, where it's like you have Burger King, but it's called Hungry Jack.
Yep.
Which I think Hungry Jack is a better name, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
It is, yeah.
Again, Burger King, it's like, well, we know you're not the king of burgers. You're like a close third or fourth sometimes, depending. FYI, I like Burger King. I think the barbecue bacon...
I do as well.
I think the barbecue bacon king is underrated. Anytime they ever come out with the sourdough bread or the pretzel bun breads, that's when you gotta get there, because that stuff's great. If I was them, I would just throw everything else out and it would just be that all year, just the better different breads. But yeah, so there's your gamer chair. Now after that, we have the Barbie Little Dream House, also by Fisher-Price, parentheses Little People, and I'm like, wow, this kind of looks like shit, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's for toddlers, so it's not like a full Barbie dream house, it's like for little tiny hands. I'm like, why are these parts so little? And it's like, yeah, because kids are little, Joel.
These aren't for me. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate this thing. Yeah, as it says right here, for ages 18 months to 5, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's so small. Okay. Though, hilariously, this looks very much like, and if you're my age, I'm sure you'll remember this, Fisher-Price made, like, a multi-story garage for, like, toy cars back in the early 90s, and this looks like basically the same mold where they've just changed some colors and swapped some parts out.
Would not put it past them to do that.
Again,
makes sense.
Not to get into deep toy conspiracy theories here, but when I looked at this and I showed it to another person, and they're like, "Hey, didn't you have like a multi-tier garage that looked like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of did."
Yep.
Now this is also the Little People brand of dolls, which this isn't the last time we'll see the Little People either. Apparently, Little People is very popular.
Yes, and Barbie's very popular right now.
Yes, with the movie and everything, the trailer came out with giant kaiju Margot Robbie.
Yeah, weird 2001 overtones, which I guarantee you the people who this movie is like aimed at have no idea what that movie is.
Which makes me love the trailer even more, where they're like, no, we're going to teach our audience a thing, and they're going to have to go research and learn what 2001 Space Odyssey is. Which, hey, good on you for educating the people. I'm all about that. This also isn't the last Playhouse we'll see either, but this is actually on the cheaper side. This is only about $40 across everywhere.
Too bad. Too bad.
Not bad at all. And we got, again, Amazon, Target, and Walmart. I learned a fucked up thing about Walmart and Amazon and why they basically killed Toys R Us and are able to crush the small mom and pop toy store. It's because, really? Yes, it's because they sell more than anyone else. They're basically able to bully all the toy companies into giving them special exclusives that you can only buy either in their store or on their website.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's dirty. That's so dirty. So your mom and pop toy store really can't compete with that.
No.
Yeah, that's the business of dirty business, I tell you. And on Christmas, no less. Now, moving on from there, we got the Monster Jam garage playset, which again, hey, 3 tiers, it's cars. I was never a car kid growing up, but I'm not really a car guy now.
No, I never was, no.
No, I was never a Hot Wheels guy. I was always about the action figures. I'm like, no, my toys need to tell a story and have deep, rich, and interesting lore. This little car does none of this for me. It doesn't even turn into a robot.
Yeah, it's worthless.
It's worthless to me. Now, that being said, I had plenty of friends who were car kids and are car guys now because of that.
Yeah.
It's really one of those things you either are or you're not. And I think, the type of kid you are, it really does tell you what sort of adult you're going to be. Yeah. So, from that one there, we have the Kitchen Creation Ultimate Ice Cream Truck toy set from Play-Doh. And honestly, there's something kind of comforting about this, too. Our generation got made fun of a lot for all the Play-Doh that we ate, so it's nice to know that the Play-Doh Corporation is still making their stuff look like delicious snacks.
Again, they've like doubled down here, where it's literally like making something that is meant to be and it's like aimed at like children 3 and up. The target demographic of people who eat Play-Doh.
You eat Play-Doh. Play-Doh, if no want us to eat Play-Doh, why make Play-Doh look delicious? So, I mean, it's really on you at a point, guys. It's only human nature.
I'm surprised they haven't done something where, like, or maybe they have, like an edible Play-Doh.
Yeah, right? Like, you would think that would be $1 billion idea right there to make edible Play-Doh. I mean, they make other stuff, right? So surely it should be easy. I mean, if they can make, like, easy bake ovens and shits, why don't they have, like, edible Play-Doh? Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think Play-Doh is actually edible already. It's, like, non-toxic and all that shit. It just, like, tastes foul.
Yeah. I mean, technically anything is edible if you try hard enough.
That's true,
if you believe in yourself and your dreams and are fearless. Just like all pills are chewables if you're hardcore like that. That's the real lesson I learned from Play-Doh. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Eat that ice cream cone. It's also a little bit more expensive too. We're getting into the hundreds of dollars range here with tax and everything. This is all in American money too, by the way. So I'm like trying to do the math in my head about what this would be in Canadian money.
I just know that it'll probably be about triple.
Yeah.
For like Australian dollars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you got shipping and everything to the other side of the world. That's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
For me, it's, put $20 on it and then, like, all the different tariffs and border crossings and everything.
Yeah.
Now, this one is cool. The Jurassic World Inflatable T-Rex RC, which is exactly what it looks like. It's an inflatable dinosaur that you can move around with a controller.
That's pretty cool.
This is cool. This is totally something that, like, all my drunk uncles at Christmas would be like, give me a turn at that, and they would just, like, friggin', drive it into their wife over and over again.
Yeah.
Which would lead to a domestic dispute every year. That's what this toy is. This is a domestic dispute just waiting to happen. Or something for Kevin McAllister to fuck with the wet bandits with. Again, see, if they made, like, a newer, better Home Alone, you'd have something like this, and he'd, like, duct tape a bunch of knives to it or something.
Yeah.
He'd mess with the motor so it could really get up to speed.
Yeah, like 60 miles an hour or something.
Also, hey, Jurassic World merch. I didn't think there was much merch for that movie, but I guess there is.
Yeah. Well, I've seen like kind of like a lot of merch. Like it's usually branded with something else, like Hot Wheels or like as we saw before, like Fisher and Price sort of stuff. Like it's usually branded in with that, not just like Jurassic World stuff.
True. Again, I know the reviews for the last couple Jurassic Park movies have been kind of middling at best, but it looks like maybe they make it up just in terms of merchandise, because what kid doesn't love dinosaur toys?
That's the thing, it's just fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, which, hey, more power to them, man.
And to my knowledge, it's like the only thing around that is still doing dinosaurs.
Yeah, I guess so. You might be onto something there.
Yeah.
Now from here, this one blew my mind. Light Bright Wall Art Pop Wow Edition. Obviously, we grew up with Light Bright, and Light Bright is seemingly still going very strong in 2022.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
Again, it actually looks much more, kind of elegant than it used to, with way more colors and way more shades to choose from, which blew me away, is that I don't remember Light Bright being so expensive, but this one here, this is $100 goddamn dollars.
Yeah. Again, there'll probably be some reason. Well, again, it's the Pop Wow edition, so it's probably like a limited quote unquote edition.
Probably. What gets me about this too is like, old Light Bright was battery powered. Yeah, I can only assume that these are like the new USB LED shit now because it's
it's got like a USB on it. So yeah, I would imagine you got to plug it into like your computer or something.
Yeah, to make it work, which hey, still pretty cool. And this is the first one too we've looked at where it's recommended for ages 14 and up. So this is for, the older, more artistic kid teen in your life. And I just think again, hey, that's awesome that, Light Bright can bring a generation together and be like, oh shit, I remember this. Ours didn't look as cool as this, though.
No, it didn't.
Ours were considerably lamer. You kids got the good ones. All right, from there, we have, a little Australian connection here. It's the Bluey Ultimate Lights and Sounds Playhouse. Again, Bluey, for those of you who don't have kids or younger family members, Bluey is the shit to, like, 6-year-olds, man. It is. It's where it's at. And one of Australia's great exports at the moment.
One of my city's greatest export, because it was created about 30-40 minutes away from me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so like Bluey has taken over the world. Apparently it's actually pretty good. I know I've seen like little clips and everything on TikTok. I'm like, that's actually funny. It's
really funny.
Yeah, they're writing this with adults
It's censored in America though.
I have heard that actually, that they changed some stuff around, which I think is hilarious.
Yep.
You damn rowdy Australians, too sinful for American children. Be ashamed, sir. Obviously, this thing, writes itself. You get the little figures. There's lights and sounds from the show, and I mean that's pretty solid. Again, if I was in the age demographic for this, I'm sure I would think this was baller.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You get the house, which is actually based on a real house here in my town, and one that you can stay at on Airbnb.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's like, I'm trying to think like the closest equivalent. That would be like if you could stay at the Simpson house.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, I learned a thing, everyone. Again, Christmas, it's a magical time of growing and changing and learning. Also, a little bit pricier, though, ironically, here Target also giving you the deal for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why Target's, got all the thrifty deals, but apparently they do.
Yeah, they got some stock off the back of a truck for free. Yeah.
Hey, my cousin Gino, he said it's fine. He said it's good. And I didn't ask any follow-up questions. Now, this is the most ridiculous one. I had to do a double take on this one because I thought they were fucking around. The LeapFrog Clean Sweep Learning Caddy.
Yeah, remember when you were saying like toys are aspirational?
Yes.
And this is like teaching kids you too can become the janitor. Which,
hey, no offense to the janitors of the world, you do hard work, and if you didn't, we'd all be dying in our own filth. I just think it's hilarious, where it's like, what the kids are gonna want, though? Cleaning up. I have never met a kid who likes to clean up, and the little blurb here is like, oh, well, kids want to do what they see their parents doing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if cleaning counts, though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, again, cleaning in my house was something you were, like, punished to do. It was something mom had to yell at you about and then throw something.
Yeah.
Again, this is just giving me, anxiety just looking at it. Yeah, my mother always cleaned angry. It was always a thing. Even now, always cleans pissed off. It's a hell of a thing. I'm like, you don't have to be mad about this every time we do it. Yes, I do. Little too real look into my life on that one, everyone. But yeah, so there you go. You can live your aspirational dreams of cleaning up. I mean, if it works, it's genius then, teaching your kids to clean up and be responsible and everything. I just think, I just think LeapFrog is, maybe thinking a little too much of kids. Then again, that's always kind of been LeapFrog's thing. They've always been really outside the box. I remember in our generation, they had like the LeapFrog, it was like a cashier thing. It was like a grocery store cashier checkout thing that like taught you how to make change and everything, which is smart because that's a skill you're going to need.
Yeah, I remember something similar, but where it was like sort of the same, but it was like it taught you how to like make different foods. Like it'd have like, it was like a menu sort of thing, and so it's like put the lettuce here and the tomato here, and that sort of thing.
Interesting. Yeah, because LeapFrog has always been more educational, and it's always been like, hey, let's try and teach kids skills that they can learn, which Hey, I wish they did more of that. I never did get the LeapFrog change-making machine, and because of that, I still don't know how to make change all this time later. Maybe I could have learned LeapFrog. Where were you when I needed you? Also, how in deep depth is this for kids? Hey, kids, don't mix bleach and ammonia. They're both cleaning products, but you'll fuck yourself up if you mix both.
Hey kids, don't dissolve that styrofoam in that spilt petroleum.
Yep, it'll be bad, kids. See, again, just teaching kids all the important like Wemyss shit now, where it's like, look, this is explosive. Don't put your oily rags next to an open flame. In fact, don't even keep oily rags. Why do you have all these oily rags, children? But yeah, that was fun. Now here's a really interesting one. We haven't actually talked about anything from the Disney company yet, but we have the Disney Encanto Easy Link karaoke machine. This made me laugh because Encanto was really huge this time last year because they released it I want to say they released it on Christmas Eve on Disney Plus last year.
Yeah, I think so.
And the songs were huge for a minute. They were all over TikTok and YouTube, and it was a massive thing. And I think this speaks to a big problem Disney has when cashing in on some of their bigger, more non-superhero, non-Star Wars things, where it's like, man, you see, you should have had this at the height of the movie, but it takes a year for all of this to roll out, so it's a year later. It feels like no one's talking about Encanto anymore, and so you missed the boat. Yep,
always happens. Always happens.
It was the same thing with Frozen. They didn't think Frozen would be the smash hit it would be, so the dolls actually came out fairly late, and there was a bunch of really ugly bootleg Frozen dolls that beat them before.
Also, just talking about toys we buy, I'm still waiting for stuff for toys to be coming out from the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
They still haven't released yet.
Yes, they're all on pre-order, I know, because I looked at a bunch of Star Wars stuff earlier. I'm like, shit, that's on pre-order? I can actually buy that if I want. I had to fight the urge to be and I'll get all my bounty hunters and I'll put them in a row. And it's like, no, Joel, you spent enough money. Stop spending money on toys. But yeah, again, I'm sure if your kid is really into Encanto and really into the music, a karaoke machine would be cool. I'm sure this will also annoy lots of parents too.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I never understood that with my parents, where they're like, yeah, maybe don't give them the batteries for that one right away, because there's some toys that are only designed to make noise, and this one only designed to make noise.
Yeah.
Also, I sure hope you We Better Talk About Bruno, or Don't Talk About Bruno, whatever the hell that one is, because you're going to be hearing it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beat that one into your goddamn head, no doubt about it. Now, the last one here, I think this is the last one for Hot Toys of the Year, and this one really surprised me. Bandai Vital Hero Digimon. Yeah, Pokemon got a huge resurgence, and as always the case, Digimon got a little bit of a resurgence on the back, but I think the new anime Ghost Game is 50 episodes in or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they haven't dubbed it yet, but it's coming out in Japan and people are liking it. They're kind of going back to the more kind of weird horror shit that they did in season 3 when they let a dude get weird and experimental with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, people forget that season 3 of Digimon, they gave it to a horror anime guy. They're like, hey, you know what, just do whatever you want with it. He's like, cool, I'm gonna do some horrifying Lovecraft shit.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
It was a really good season. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna throw out most of the rule book and just kind of do my own thing over here. It gets very Evangelion by the end.
Yep.
And they're like, how did they let this man do it? But yeah, the Vital Hero I discovered, again, you probably remember, Matt, because you were there during the original Digimania. They had you could get the Digivice, and they were Tamagotchis. Tamagotchis is all they were. You would shake them, and you'd walk with them, and you could feed the pet, and you could battle with it, and if you didn't, it would die. Eventually, it would evolve and everything. This is basically an evolution of that, where it's a bracelet thing, so it's kind of like a Fitbit.
Yep.
That measures your steps. The big new thing now is you can actually switch your Digimon in and out, where before you were kind of married to the color that it came with. Here you can actually change them and battle and trade and do a bunch of things. It's actually some very cool technology.
Yeah, and if you have a heart attack while wearing it, your Digimon will die.
Really? See, I thought if you had a heart attack, it'll actually resuscitate you.
Yeah, it's got a built-in EKG meter and everything.
That's where you make the money. Hey, if you have a heart attack, it'll bring you back to life.
It's the new life alert, yeah.
This also feels like, again, the Digimon company coming late to a Pokemon company idea with Pokemon Go, where it's like, yeah, it gets kids out and exercising. Yeah, this will get people out and walking because the Digimon actually reads your steps.
Mm-hmm.
My Digimon would just be like, why aren't you walking? Why are you editing more videos? Why did you DoorDash? You could have just picked up that pizza. And I'd be like, look, Mon, you better shut the hell up, or we're not going to have a good time here, man. That's all the new Digimon are. They just really, really want you to make better life decisions.
Yeah.
Don't be texting her at 2 a.m, Joel. That's a terrible idea. I don't know about buying those NFTs. Seems like a bad idea. That's what I want, just like conscious Digimon who are just like, I don't know about every choice you make. But that's cool, and I like knowing that Digimon is still alive and well for another generation. Yeah. It's not on the list, but apparently also Beyblade is huge again.
Oh, really?
Yes, what is it? The last big WWE pay-per-view, it was hilarious. They essentially hijacked one of their guys' Titantrons to put up, like, a big Beyblade ad.
Ah, nice.
So they got that much money, at least. They got pay-per-view ad money.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh man, Beyblades were so cool because I don't think I know anyone who actually owned a legitimate one. It was all just fucking knockoffs because they were just so much better.
They were, because they were heavier, and the heavier ones always won because they were made out of real metal, and you could swap the parts out and everything. That was the best thing about Beyblade, is that you could actually put them together yourself and do the thing they do in the show.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what I really liked about Beyblade. Apparently what they do now is you can actually buy like packs and sets of them. There's kind of like a little surprise box element to it now. But what they really charge you for is like the arena. They charge like $100 for the arena. And I'm like, that's where they get you. That's where they get you, man. So from there, we can actually talk about the really expensive ones, you know, the creme de la creme, if you will. Those were what was popular. Let's look about what you can buy if you got a little money to burn. Again, if you're one of those rich kings of Europe, as I said. And the first thing I have here is a full-on Batman-themed theater room for, you know, the room in your mansion. It'll run you about $2 million if you just have $2 million sitting around.
Yeah, as everyone does, yeah.
Yeah, looks like a cave, you got the bookshelf, you got a couple sets of bat armor there. What makes me laugh about this is like, dude, if I have $2 million to spend on, like, a personal theater room, why would I limit myself to just Batman?
Exactly. Make it a Hall of Justice.
Yeah, make it a whole Hall of Justice. Hell, I would make it like old Hollywood. I'd be like, hey, man, make this look like the Chinese theater in L.A.,
Yeah.
Make it look like that. Make it look like an old movie palace and everything with, like, the Statler and Waldorf thing above it.
Yeah.
Make it look like the fucking Muppet Theater. Hey, Batman is cool, but if I'm burning $2 million...
Yeah, and it's like not really, like, something related to Batman as well. Because, like, when you think of Batman, you don't think of movie theater.
Yeah. I mean, he had a terrible time in a movie theater.
Exactly. Why would you want him to represent your movie theater?
Well, I mean, it's movie theater at home, so maybe this is something Bruce Wayne
maybe like if you've got $2 million, maybe when you screen a movie and you like your friends leave or something, someone in your fucking like front yard fucking mugs them and like shoots their family or something.
Creates a new Yeah, that with each purchase of the Batman home theater system,
it comes with a Joe Chill. Yeah,
you get my friend Roy who dresses up as Joe Chill and shoots at your friends as they leave, just to really make it immersive. Yeah, geez, if anything, Batman should hate the movies for just that reason. Cinema's a dead art. Frickin' TV for life.
Streaming only.
Yeah, streaming only. And he, like, beats it on all the Robinsons. You're not going to a movie, are you? Jeez, Bruce, why are you so weird about the movies? Oh, yeah, that's why. Because something bad happened. Moving on from there, we have an actual DeLorean.
Yeah.
An actual real-deal DeLorean, which can be yours for the low price of only $30K. Now, that's $30K when this article was written that I grabbed this off of. I actually think they're much harder to get now in working condition because they never made any new parts for the DeLorean, because the DeLorean was a failed vehicle that only exists in pop culture because of Back to the Future.
Yeah, yeah, and the guy who made it was like a complete like scam artist,
Yeah.
kind of scumbag guy. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of weird history around the DeLorean, but man, being attached to one really great movie series can do a lot for your image. And also, hey, this isn't just a regular gift, Matt, it's an investment, because if I buy a DeLorean, fix it up, I can take it to car shows and nerd cons and charge people $5 to get a picture taken with it.
and not just that, like 30K for that. That's pretty good.
It is. That's not a bad price. Then again, I'm pretty sure that's like 30K American, and it's probably just a shell. You'll probably have to add all the lights and sound and everything else to it, so Lord only knows what that's gonna run you.
True.
I also feel like all the working condition DeLoreans, because again, they were not built to last. That's one of the big problems with them. Are probably being used for car shows and conventions and everything right now.
I want to say so. Yeah, I think the last couple of cons I've been to, I've seen one there.
They've always got one of them. They got a Batmobile. They got a General Lee and like an Ecto-1 at every show you go to.
Yep.
If you're lucky, you get a friggin' Mad Max Dominator, but that's about it. So, moving on from there, a very beautiful Legend of Zelda handmade, hand cross-stitched map of Hyrule. This is a very, very customized item that you have to order special from Etsy, but there's a person who does them literally by hand.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art. Even if you didn't know anything about Legend of Zelda, even if you didn't know anything about video games, you could hang this cross-stitch, and it would be a beautiful piece. And it can be yours for the low, low price of $4,995 American. Which, considering time, labor, and even just the price of yarn in the cross-stitch, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Checks out. Pretty good. So yeah, for the Zelda fan in your life, and don't worry, this isn't the last time we're going to be talking about expensive Nintendo products. Because boy, the collector's market on that is fucking wild.
We can just talk about their normal games, because they're always so expensive.
You tell me about it. I'd play more if they were cheaper. Now here you go, Matt, for the Star Wars fan in your life, the coffee table Millennium Falcon.
Looks pretty cool, but very impractical.
The perfect piece to tie the whole room together. The perfect conversation starter in any, beginner home. Again, can I actually put my drinks on? I'd be afraid to put my drinks on it.
I would as well, yeah.
Again, it's so, like you said, it's beautiful, but incredibly impractical.
But, like, where would you hold it? Because, like, the Millennium Falcon, it isn't flat. It's, like, sloped on the tops.
No.
So, like, where would you even put your drink? You just, like, put it down and, like, full off.
No idea. See, this is the sort of thing that if I had, like, a toy store or a comic store, I would want it, like, hanging off the ceiling.
Yeah.
I'd also be afraid if it fell, because that looks pretty damn solid. I don't even know what that's made of, if that's wood or concrete or what.
Concrete.
Yeah, my concrete Millennium Falcon. This an actually much more reasonable $900 American.
That's not too bad.
Now, you're dropping a full grand on this. As far as Star Wars merch goes, there is way more expensive Star Wars merch.
That is cheaper than the Lego Millennium Falcon that you can buy.
Oh, yeah, which, again, beautiful. I could not imagine putting that all together.
No.
Again, it's like I'd have to pay someone else to put it together. Now from there, what do we have? We've had a little Star Wars, we've had a little Nintendo, got a little Dragon Ball after that. This is the Namekian Dragon. This is made of resin. Again, this is a specialty item that you would have to order off the guy on Etsy, and that's his email right there. I'm going off an old article. I don't even know if he actually makes these anymore, but this is upwards of $800.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty cool.
It is.
Pretty cool.
Looks pretty fucking realistic. I love the glint off the actual Dragon Balls themselves and everything. This would be a very cool piece to put somewhere. Again, it's so big, I don't know where to put him.
Yeah, where would you put something like that?
I say that, I have a ridiculously huge Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War, friggin' Celebrimbor riding the dragon and fighting it. That's on my mantelpiece.
I've got like the Gotham Knights, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, Robin centerpiece as well down on my coffee table. Yeah,
I've hidden it in such a way there where it's like, oh, a clock, pictures of my family, dragon. Now, the funny thing about that dragon piece is I actually won that at a convention, because, like, I played the demo longer than anyone else. That's what they told me. I think they just gave it to me because they know I was a fucking YouTuber, and they knew that I would, like, tweet about it and shit. I'm certain the contest was fixed.
Yeah.
But it's been on my mantle forever, and it hasn't been broken and everything, and I actually checked it on eBay there. Apparently, they didn't make that many of them, so apparently it's going for, like, $600 for, like, those who actually want them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice to know if this YouTube job ever fucks me up there in case of emergency, sell the Lord of the Rings statue. Because I'm all hard up and everything. Moving on from there, we got a custom Hobbit hole door for your house, or I guess garage shack as this thing looks, because the house does not look good.
Shed or something, yeah.
I'm pretty sure the door is the most expensive part on this shed.
Yeah.
And that's also going for $5,000, which I actually think that's pretty reasonable considering the custom work that would need to go into that, because you would need to cut out the door that you have and then get the wood cut and then get that put in.
Yeah, straight cut the structure and everything, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really, really love Lord of the Rings for a big Hobbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, then again, you mentioned the Airbnb idea. I think if you made a Hobbit hole Airbnb, I think that would actually be a pretty good side hustle business.
That would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Be like, yeah, you can get second breakfast, fill it with Lord of the Ringsy looking shit. I think people would actually pay top dollar to stay there. I probably would.
Yeah.
I know there's an expensive tour. You can go to New Zealand and they'll feed you second breakfast and they'll show you, like, where they filmed stuff from the movie. And it's all...
Yeah, you can actually go to, like, there's, like, the little village, the Hobbiton village and everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty all-inclusive, and that's way more than $5,000, including just a friggin' ticket to New Zealand. Which is a beautiful country, and I'd love to visit sometime. I'm just saying, I know it ain't gonna be cheap from where I am in the world. So moving on from there, I decided to look at what are some of the more expensive nerd gifts on Amazon, and one of the first ones that came up made me laugh. The Biddle robotic dog construction set for about $500 plus shipping and everything else. You put it together yourself. What they don't tell you is the medical bills, though, when this thing becomes sentient and turns against you like all robot dogs.
Well, that's why you don't buy the intelligent camera module. You don't buy that, yeah.
Why? Why was I programmed to feel pain? Yeah, they actually say intelligent camera module. So again, do you want to make this gift creepier? Because you can.
Yeah, you can.
Can make this way creepier, this friggin' Boston Dynamics thing that's gonna be sicked on protesters any day now, I'm sure. The goddamn RoboCop future is now, and it can be yours for the low, low price of $500. So that's fun. Hey, Cyberpunk was really big this year, Matt. Edge Runners was a super popular anime. I started playing the game again. Cyberpunk fashion has never been bigger, also pretty expensive, but if you really want a centerpiece for your next Cyberpunk outfit, you could have this LED futuristic mecha helmet.
Cyberpunk mask, cosplay, LED, light, futuristic mecha warrior helmet, sci-fi black, full face mask. Perfect for Halloween party.
Gotta get it all in there, gotta get all the searchable words in there from whatever Chinese company makes these.
Yep.
Now, this is very cool. I know I would never get it on my giant freak head, so that would be, I might as well just burn $200.
Yeah, no, I would never put that. That's like I have like one of the Black Series Boba Fett helmets, and that doesn't fit on my freakishly big head. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who these are for. Again, I have to imagine I would probably have to contact the company, which Bike Tech. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which that certainly sounds like a perfectly reputable outfit.
Perfectly real company, and not just a shell company for something else.
Yeah, not just we picked an English word at random and said that's good. I'm sure this thing isn't filled with black mold or something.
No.
No, I'm sure it's okay. Looks very cool. Tell me when you have it in my size.
Yeah, I'm sure the plastic won't adhere to my face when I put it on.
Turning you into a real Two-Face?
Yeah.
Now, bringing it back to both Lord of the Rings and Little People, apparently this is quite the, chase item for people in the fandom. That's the Fisher-Price Little People Collector's Lord of the Rings figure set. That's all 6 of your favorites from the movie and from the books itself. Ages 1 to 101.
Yeah,
Haha, putting a little joke in there.
Yeah, they know that it's going to be older people buying this. It's just like I think it might have been Fisher and Price, or it might have been Playmobil. They did like a Star Trek. You could buy like the you could buy like a toy of the Enterprise.
Oh, that's
and it came
cool.
with like the Spock and Kirk, and I'm like, that's not for kids.
This is for older adults and people who have like $200 to spend on this.
Yeah.
That's like those Super 7 Power Rangers figures they have now. I'm like, oh, those look good. Oh, yes, I kind of want those.
I have seen them, and I've been very tempted to just buy one. Where's the Magna Defender? Is he there? No.
Yeah. See, they're just like 3 inches and up, so I can just like put them on my dashboard, and I can just put them wherever. See, it's fine. I have space for them. It's not like these big giant figures. I can just put them here, and they can look cool. But yeah, I just love that there's a Lord of the Rings Fisher-Price set that's almost $200.
For was it 6 figures?
Yes. I wonder too, is this like sealed or unsealed? Because I feel like this is one of those products that if you have the sealed version, it's probably worth a little more.
You'll get the product, and they do like, when you see in the shops, someone's like ripped it open because they wanted like the Gandalf.
Exactly.
And they've replaced it with like another Gimli or something.
It's all Gimlis. Come on. Oops, all Gimlis.
Yeah.
Damn it. Now, moving on to some other old-timey gifts and such that are actually worth more now than ever. Garbage Pail Kids, apparently certain ones are trading for up to $1,000 now, which blows me away, because I collected just about everything, but I did not collect Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, apparently some of them are really rare now, and I kind of don't know why they're really rare now. Like, usually things get more popular when there's like a movie or a TV show or something.
Yeah.
I guess this is just pure kitsch, huh?
I guess so. Maybe as well. Maybe it goes with like the NFT sort of thing.
The original NFTs.
Yeah. These are like fucking weird things. Let's buy them because they're like NFTs but real. Wow.
I never thought of that. Garbage Pail Kids are the original NFT. Holy shit, Matt! I think you cracked the code of it. They're ugly. But people are crazy about them. Oh man, that's nuts. Now here, another Star Wars thing that I know you'll love: the 1978 Luke Skywalker action figure, mint in box, $25K.
Oof.
That's a sell your soul item right there, isn't it?
Oh my god, yeah. I actually have some of the older figures, but they're definitely not collector's items. I've got like a C-3PO and a Darth Vader. And if I could get a boxed one of these.
From Kenner.
Yeah.
These are like those things where it's like, why are those nerds punching each other? Why did that fight break out? Usually it's over this.
Yep.
I would be scared to own something like this. I'm like, no, I'll damage it, or no, someone will come and steal it. This is the sort of item that would drive me crazy. It's like, I shouldn't have this. This should be in a museum.
Yeah, it's really it's like a really difficult position because like you want it, but then you're worried you're gonna like damage it, or like what do I do with it? This has to go in like a vault somewhere.
Mm-hmm. As another man who lost his mind once said, "No one man should have all that power." And then he said some anti-Semitic shit. Unfortunately,
yeah. He dressed like a Batman villain and went on Alex Jones.
Man, talk about a flame out that I didn't see coming. But yeah, so if you ever just have, $25K just sitting around, you too can be the happy owner of this Kenner Luke Skywalker original. Moving on from there, we have the most famous of the Beanie Babies, the Peanut Royal Blue Elephant, which it says Royal Blue, but it looks more purple to me.
It does, yeah.
Hopefully this doesn't start another one of those dress controversies. What color is the dress? What color is the elephant, Matt? This is $5K. Obviously, of course, you and I know a fair amount about the Beanie Baby company because they made like 2 documentaries in the last year.
They did, yeah. It's all just a fucking scam.
Big scam, but you almost gotta respect the level of scamminess that this dude came up with, where it's like, if I make people think they're going away, they'll spend more.
Yeah, and just like the like caveats was like, this one is really weird because its left ear has one more stitch than the right ear, and the tag is 2 inches shorter, and just like the caveats people would come up with to try and like claim that theirs was rare or something.
The amount of juice that they just managed to wring out of Beanie Babies is kind of amazing, and I guess they're still around too, so they kind of like survived the test of time and everything. Obviously, they're not as famous as they used to be, and not as hotly in demand, but they're still around.
When's he gonna go into Beanie Baby NFTs?
Oh my! How have they not? That seems like so obvious. The ultimate final resort of any huckster, criminal, carny piece of shit. Just saying. Merry Christmas, everyone. And hey, speaking of the horrors of capitalism, if you have an original Monopoly game, that's over $100,000 now on the collector's market.
That's pretty cool. But is that for complete?
An excellent question. Is it just the board or is it the full game? You're absolutely right. I'm imagining it's the full game with everything, because I imagine plenty of boards exist, but if you've ever tried to play Monopoly, you're always losing the shoe, you're always losing the dice or the little house. I'm imagining it's very hard to have a full, complete set.
Yep.
The fact that it's such a hotly chased collector's item, too, is hilarious and also kind of sad if you know the origin of the woman who invented the Monopoly game, and she's probably turning over in her fucking grave over this.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the game Monopoly was created by, like, an economics teacher to try and teach kids about the horrors of monopolies and capitalism and how they're bad, and how to properly win the game, you basically gotta cheat and be an asshole. Unfortunately, the game was too fun and too popular, and I think it was Milton Bradley, or whoever the hell the actual company is, essentially stole her idea, made a game without her permission, like an official version of it, and turned it into a board game Monopoly, so fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you didn't think that, everyone, that Monopoly actually had like a really sad origin story to it.
Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun.
Likewise, the woman who apparently made the fidget spinner, that she made it to like help her autistic students, concentrate and everything, and they stole her idea too and made a bunch of money for a little bit.
God damn it.
Are those still around, fidget spinners? Or did they have their moment and go away?
I mean, I see them every now and then, but yeah, I think they're all pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah, because there was fidget spinners for a little bit, then there was the fidget cubes. It feels like there was a whole little like cottage industry for a minute.
Yeah.
I can't be too mad at them, though, because it seemed like they did actually help a certain sort of person, so, hey.
Yeah, I could see them helping people, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's your really expensive Monopoly board. Obviously, of course, we're a comic show first and foremost, so we have to talk about Action Comics #1, which I think this is an old article, because this one has it retailing for $3.2 million. I'm pretty sure it's worth more now.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's worth over $5 million now.
Because that's the thing with comic books, they were never meant to last. These ones here from the Golden Age, they were done on really, really cheap newspaper print.
Paper, yeah.
Which is falling apart as time goes on, disintegrating and turning into dust.
Yes.
So if you have one of these ultra rare comics that you have managed to save and preserve, then yeah, of course it's going to be worth $3.2 million because no one else has any.
No.
This is another one like the Luke Skywalker figure where it's like, yeah, I would love to say I have one of these to like really, show off how big my nerd dick is to everyone, but at the same time I'd be like, no, that's the most expensive comic ever. I'm gonna get fucking robbed.
Yeah, no, this is gonna go in the vault, yeah.
Yeah, like what does Nicolas Cage do with his super expensive comic collection? Does he have like a bunker that he just goes and visits? I
would imagine he does.
Smokes a cigar, pours a cognac, and is like, yes. That's the funny thing, too, about Nicolas Cage. I bet he's owned, like, an Action Comics #1 at some point in his life.
I think he did own one, yeah.
I think at some point or another he's owned all of them, then got divorced and sold them and got married.
Had to sell them, yeah.
So apparently he's like, just, I know it was a joke for the longest time that, the comic speculator market and the comic resale market apparently waxed and waned with whether or not Nicolas Cage was in a relationship or not.
Well, you're never going to get like a modern comic reaching this price.
No, never. The closest one was Walking Dead #1, and that's only because no one expected it to be the huge success it was. It was a fucking black and white indie comic from Image before they really took off again. No one thought it would be huge, so they only made like a couple thousand of them originally.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the real reason why that one is worth as much as it is, because it had a very, very limited first printing.
Yeah.
And every time there was a new season of the show, you would see them on eBay and they would start moving for a fair amount of money, but not like 3.2 million.
No, not at all.
But more than your average comic would. Certainly more than any comic in the last couple of years moves for money.
Yeah.
Though then again, with all these weird Sony decisions, like, oh, we're making a Hypno Hustler movie, we're making a Morbius movie, suddenly they start moving for more money. Fucking Hypno Hustler.
The greatest of Spider-Man villains.
When they said that and that Donald Glover is connected, I'm like, yeah, and I bet Donald Glover laughed and laughed, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. And they're like, nope, you said it, that's legally binding, you have to do it now. I bet he's just like, yeah, I'll do it, and it'll be a big, overlong Atlanta sketch, is what it'll be. That's why he did it. He took it solely for the lulz.
Yep.
Which, hey, more power to you, man. You do you. You seem like a nice guy, and you seem like an actual interesting torture genius. Make your torture genius Hypno Hustler movie. If Sony's gonna keep doing all these bad ideas, at least get interesting filmmakers to make them.
Yeah. Get the guys from Atlanta.
Exactly, just cast all of them and make it a reunion movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fucking nuts. Now, here's one that really blew me away. We've been giving a lot of love to Fisher-Price. Obviously, older toys, much like older comics, are super rare because most of them got chopped up for firewood or, just rotted away. This is apparently the most valuable Fisher-Price toy, Pushcart Pete, which does not look like much, but it is a super rarity, and it's worth about $8,000.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, this thing is worth $8,000, everyone. Does this look like it's worth $8,000?
It probably cost like $1 to make.
I know, right? And now apparently it's one of the rarest.
And the person who made it got like, I don't know, arsenic poisoning or something from
really?
paint they use on them or something. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned the paint, because I will say this is one of those, like, they don't make toys like this anymore, because this is clearly like a hand-painted thing.
Yeah, so the metal on it is made from like old bombs from World War II, and like the wood is from like they cut down some fucking forest for that wood, and they treated it with like and on a Native American land, and they treated it with like all types of chemicals, and that like
there's
dissolved skin on touch and everything. There's asbestos in it and everything, and then it's covered in lead paint.
Yeah, all the best toys covered with lead and asbestos, and they wonder why our parents and grandparents turned out how they did. That's a great joke. Like, there was a video, I'm sure you saw it was making the rounds there. It was like a high school in the 80s, and they're like, why do all these teenagers look like they're in their 30s? What the hell is going on here? And everyone's like, everyone smoked, and everything had lead paint and asbestos in it, and everything was bad for you back then. That's why.
Everyone was doing cocaine,
Yeah, that's why teenagers look to be 30, because everything was bad for you back then. And that's why everyone died young, too. But yes, if you happen to have a Pushcart Pete, you could also have like $8,000 sitting around right now. That's what I really want this episode to be, Matt. I want one of our viewers to be like, I freaking have one of those. I just want to make people rich this Christmas, Matt. That's what I really want to do. It's cold, hard cash Christmas here on the Comic Multiverse, making all our fans rich. Now, here was an interesting one. Apparently, if you own a first edition of Where the Wild Things Are, that's also worth like $25,000.
Damn.
In 2012, a signed version of the original 1963 book signed by Maurice Sendak, the author, apparently sold at auction for way more than you would think.
Yeah, $25,000. Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, I guess it is a pretty rare, pretty famous book, and I mean, I guess book collecting in first editions is like a whole other, like, subculture unto itself.
It is, yes.
Like, shit, you know how much we care about original first-run comics. Imagine how much literary people care about first-run books.
Oh, yeah.
It's just funny because I hadn't thought about Where the Wild Things Are in forever, and I just like the idea knowing that it's a really rare thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is. It's cool. I always liked Where the Wild Things Are. Of course, Furby. Gotta get some Furby in there. Apparently, if you have one of the first-run Furbies in box, that's worth about $900.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
Which is funny, because, like, Furby, to me, seemed like such a flash in the pan in our generation.
It did. It seemed like, like it was like popular for, like, a couple of months.
It was here, and then it was gone. That and, like, the Spice Girls, where, like, yeah, they weren't actually making music for that long. They made, like, 2 albums with the whole group, made a movie, and then they made, like, a 3rd album that no one remembers when they replaced one of the girls. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was watching the OSW review, and they did a whole, like, retrospective on Spice World, and I'm like, wow, there was so much I didn't know about the Spice Girls, and I lived through this. And I would argue they had more cultural staying power than Furby did.
Yeah, yeah.
Just what a weird idea for a thing, where it's like, well, it's a plush thing, and it makes noise, and it's kind of ugly. And every kid's gonna want one.
It makes some shrill noises, and yeah.
It was our generation's pet rock, is what it was, where it's like, really? This was popular?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like everyone's chasing that, like, what will be our generation's pet rock? What will be our Furby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good on Furby, everyone. I don't know who loved their Furby enough to keep it mint in box. But if you did, you could have almost $1,000 American.
Yep.
Now, again, I mentioned Nintendo before, and here we are again. If you have an original Mario Kart 64, that's worth $400 plus. I like they had to put plus there, because I was on eBay just recently looking at classic games, and this was going for at least double that.
See, now, I've got a problem with, like, video game, like... In this case, this is video game grading,
yes.
Which is, in itself is a huge scam.
Oh, of course.
Like there's a couple of videos on YouTube. I think Critical did one or something where he like broke down like why it was a big scam, and like it's just a ridiculous scam on why they how they go about like grading them, and how they like give preferential treatment to people who like pay them off. And
because it doesn't make sense.
All sorts of shit. Yeah, all sorts of shit. Yeah, because you can't really grade a video game
like you could
specifically
like
something. Yeah, like one like this. Yeah, it's because it all plays the same. It all still works and everything. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
This is definitely an old article and an old eBay posting we're going off of, because retro gaming exploded over the last 3 years during the pandemic, where everything got supercharged and everything is stupidly expensive. And I know we've had this conversation on the show before, Matt, you know, why we are both proponents of emulation in this case, where it's like, look, if you're a young kid who wants to experience Mario Kart 64 or wants to experience any of these great entries in video game history, you can't do it because scalpers in the market make it impossible for you to get the hardware, to get the games. The only way you can do it is by emulating.
Yeah, and not only that, especially Nintendo, whenever they re-release like something like Mario 64, it's always not very good emulation.
No.
And they only do it for a very short amount of time
before taking it away.
Before limited run on the cards and stuff.
The Disney Vault method.
Yeah. So then if you haven't bought the game within like a certain amount of time, the prices just jump because they're very hard to find.
It's so unfair and so uncool because it's like, come on, Nintendo, you hold this huge chunk of gaming history in your hand. No other industry does this. You know, the freaking music industry doesn't make me pay $400 plus to listen to the White Album or to listen to Sgt. Pepper's or something, because they know it's part of the cultural good. You know, I don't have to pay $400 plus if I want to freaking watch Casablanca or something. Because it's important for history to keep this around. It's so weird that video games, and especially Nintendo, make it so hard to kind of enjoy the classics.
Yeah, it's only really Nintendo that does that.
I mean, Sony has their own thing too, but with Sony, I kind of understand it, because it's like, yeah, you came out with like a billion games during the PS2 era, and you can't just like, you know, re-release them all.
Yeah, it's gonna be impossible.
Like I love Def Jam, but I can't have Def Jam because the music rights on that is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Even the classic Grand Theft Autos, you know, the music rights on those lapsed a long time ago.
Yeah, not only that, the company that made those technically doesn't exist anymore.
Also that, so you know, it's really funny what ones they re-release and what ones they don't.
Yeah.
And that's why I will always be like, look, you know, an emulation on some of this stuff is very much okay. And I got an emulator this year. My Ein Odin emulates so much stuff great, and so much stuff I played for the first time. I played Super Mario Sunshine for the first time ever this year.
Oh, nice.
it's fun, but it's also like, whoa, you're speaking a totally different language here that I did not learn. What is a Z button?
Yeah.
What button is the Z? I didn't grow up with a Nintendo. I don't know what I'm doing. It's friggin' crazy. Again, you should have seen the look on my face. It was like trying to divide by 0, trying to find a Z button on my emulated controller. Now moving on from here, we got some HeMan, the Masters of the Universe playset, which is, this looks to be immaculate, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense that this is $3,000 plus.
Yep.
I miss the playset. I feel like our generation was the last of the real, like, balls-to-the-wall playset.
Yeah, where everything, you got everything together in one pack sort of thing, and you could just open the box and start playing.
And it was cool as fuck, and it had all these moving parts. I remember the X-Men Danger Room playset, where it was like a little suitcase and everything. And, and the Command Center playset and everything, and just so many warm memories and Christmas mornings. This aesthetic is my jam right here.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
This takes me back. And hey, as we mentioned before, the only people who are even coming close to trying to do this sort of thing again in the modern era is apparently Bluey. So, good on you for keeping the playset alive and well in the modern era.
I think McFarlane Toys do some stuff like this. I did see, I almost fucking bought it. It was the other day, I saw like a Batman animated series, and it was like a diorama of like the opening credits where he's on top of the building, the lightning behind him. Yeah.
Yeah, some of those dioramas are really cool.
Yeah. And I know they do a Batcave one as well.
Nice. Big Bad Toy Store, which we will be getting into a minute here. I know they had a bunch of diorama sets for, like, figure photography. And I know some people on Instagram who are, like, really into figure photography and setting up their little dioramas and their little props and everything. And I'm like, oh no, that's a thing I could really see myself getting into, figure photography. Am I gonna be that guy where it's like, quiet on the set, I need to pose my figures. I need to pose them just right for figure photography. Get just the right natural light in this time of day. Because the dioramas are really cool, where it's like, ooh, it's a back alley, ooh, it's a cityscape.
Yeah.
It's an enchanted forest, it's all my favorite places.
Mm-hmm.
Now, moving on to another Nintendo thing, the most valuable Game Boy cartridge of all time, Super Mario 2, the original cartridge, is gonna run you like $1 million.
Just $1 million.
Just a cool mill, if you have that lying around, after you build, your Batman home theater, you can play Super Mario 2 on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why this is so expensive. I'm assuming they didn't make many.
Yeah, I don't think they probably did. I think it was just during that time, as well, like the video game crash.
Yeah, because I didn't even know there was a Super Mario 2 on the Game Boy.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I just thought it was on the consoles, yeah.
And this is the original-ass Game Boy, too, and you can tell because it's the gray cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Gray cartridges, they wouldn't change them until later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, Nintendo and especially Mario continuing to be, these real sought-after nerd holy grails.
Yes.
That can be yours for the small, small price of an arm and a leg. Now here's another one that surprised me. Apparently, original Bop It Extremes in the box can also run for about $200 to $300.
Damn.
Which, again, I guess makes sense because this is literally a toy that you were supposed to bop it, pull it, twist it. So I imagine most of these were broken into pieces and also thrown in fits of rage by people who lost.
Yeah.
That's all the Bop It was, everyone. For our younger fans, it was basically a rage device. It was designed for the sole purpose of pissing you off and destroying friendships. Because it would get faster and faster, and no one could keep up with those patterns. I'm pretty sure if you could keep up with those patterns, the friggin', U.S. military would come and recruit you to, like, fly drones or something. Yes, he's got the three-dimensional thinking we need for our new stealth bomber. You passed the Bop It test. See, I just pitched a good movie there. That's my sequel to The Last Starfighter, The Last Bop It Fighter.
Yeah.
By God, he's so fast he can bop it, twist it, and pull it at the same time. It's like
God.
It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. No one can do it, but little Billy can. Another comic book thing, and this one made me laugh. DC Wonder Woman Batman action figure, $2,000 plus, and you're thinking, well, like, why the hell is this rare? This doesn't even look like a good
mismatch.
Figure. It's rare because they fucked up. This is a very famous misprint, and misprints, as we know from comic books, can actually be worth a lot.
Quite a lot, yes.
I don't even remember what line this is from, but apparently, yeah, if you have the misprinted one, you got a nice chunk of change in your pocket.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Holy crap. Poor Wonder Woman. We just assume you're Batman.
You just can't get a break, yeah.
For real, it's the most DC mistake ever. What do you mean everything isn't Batman? We're just used to putting Batman on everything.
Yeah, just put Batman on it. It'll work, yeah.
They should do this for Wonder Woman's next solo series. They should just put Batman on the cover instead of Wonder Woman and see how many people pick it up and buy it. That's all DC Dawn is. It's just them putting Batman on the cover of every book. The books are, the character you want. We just put Batman on all of them.
Yeah.
They just become the friggin', what is it, just like shit post of the comic world. They become like the clickbait. They just throw Batman on every cover. DC Comics, all Batman all the time. Alright, so moving on from there, we got some other ridiculously priced ones. A golden rocking horse. This is another one of those custom jobs. The story goes is that this thing was apparently a gift to the Crown Prince of Japan back in the day when he was a toddler, and apparently this thing became the super must-have item amongst the rich and elite and powerful of the world. From what I understand, Jay-Z and Beyonce have one of this for their kids too.
Of course they do.
A solid gold rocking horse.
Of course they do.
Which that is just the definition of I've got money to burn, because A, what modern kid thinks a rocking horse is cool, and B, they're gonna grow out of it, and then you just got a big golden rocking horse.
Yeah.
Made of real gold, which I'm sure because it's made of real gold, it's really heavy. It's really heavy and unwieldy, and I'm gonna guess not fun to play with, honestly.
Yeah, if this falls on a child,
this will kill them. Actually, hey, that's a good pitch for a new, Richie Rich meets Casper ghost thing. Oh, I was a child of privilege until I was crushed by my solid gold rocking horse. Now I
was crippled by the solid gold rocking horse, yeah.
Now I haunt the halls of the manor, forever in pain. Ooh, why solid gold rocking horse? This is just so excessive. This is the
It
highest.
is, yeah.
But not the most excessive toy we're going to talk about. From there, we have the Louis Vuitton teddy bear. Yes, Louis Vuitton, the big fashion company, makes a teddy bear. The bear wears its clothes, and this can be yours for the low price of $2.1 million. Again, no child is intended to actually play with this, because that's $2.1 million worth of teddy bear. God, I imagine this bear is a total douche, too. I imagine this bear is just like, oh, bring Paddington so I may piss upon him. Yeah, this bear's like one of those rich little weirdos, and it's Louis Vuitton.
Yes, I'm gonna hunt Paddington, yes.
Yes, bring Winnie the Pooh.
That's what his winter coat is made out from. It's made from Paddington's skin. Yeah.
Ah, yes, bring Winnie the Pooh and Paddington and that other bear from the Lost Toys to my island where I will hunt them for sport. Yeah, this teddy bear is so rich and such an asshole. It hunts other teddy bears. Teddy Ruxpin. I ate his, liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. That's all the famous teddy bears I know.
Yeah.
There, we named all of them. We're good. So yeah, if you have a very spoiled child, this can be yours. Now here we have the most expensive dollhouse ever made. This is the Astalot Dollhouse Castle, $8.5 million, another custom job.
Doesn't even look like a dollhouse castle. It looks like a very elaborate D&D set.
It really, really does. I could totally see the Critical Role guys playing around in this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they got $8.5 million to spend on this, so maybe they should.
Hey, well, if those Twitch payout leaks that came out a couple of years ago, yeah, that's chump change to them.
I like people got mad at them for that. It's like, can you believe they're making so much money? Yeah, they made a good show, and they put on like a free show. Well, mostly free, for years for people, and like D&D is their job now, which means I'm sure they hate it, because I would hate D&D if it was my job, on top of also doing voice work. During the day, though a lot of them do anime, and apparently anime pays like absolute shit if you're a voice actor.
It does, yeah.
And you do it basically just, keep your reps up and to like get other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at $8.5 million you could buy several real houses for this, to put that in perspective. Again, imagine the homeless people you could house for $8.5 million. You could buy a yacht for this and crash it into a house and still have money left over. Like, imagine what else you could do for $8.5 million.
I know. It's obscene.
It's truly, truly obscene. And the article doesn't go into great detail about it, but I'm like, is it made of like fine, rich mahogany with gold inlays and like seal tears? Seal tears that only, you can gather during a full moon.
Yeah, you have to beat the seals particularly like violently to get the tears.
That's totally the sort of people who would buy this, where it's like, look, you don't even need to beat the seals to make the dollhouse, but I would just feel better if you did. Just the excess attached to this is out of this fucking world. Again, it's so rare and so valuable. It's like, no, don't touch it. That's $8.5 million worth of dollhouse. You maniac, don't touch it with your child fingers. So yeah, those are all the rich, excessive toys for ultra-rich kids. Let's look at something that might be a little bit more in your price range. We'll close the show off by looking at the most expensive pre-orders of quarter 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all from Big Bad Toy Store, which is a super cool site that does not sponsor the show, but they should.
They should send us free things, yeah.
They should send us free things. I know they do actually have like an Amazon deal where you can have a storefront and shit. So looking at it right here, we have the Power Rangers Megazord Battle Damaged version from Kami Arts, and the Battle Damaged version is actually more expensive.
Okay.
Which is the funny thing. This is also limited edition. This is $1,299.99, not counting shipping and handling.
God damn.
Also, because it's on pre-order now, you gotta put $260 down on it right now to reserve it for yourself, and that's non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
And it's sold out also, too, in case you're wondering.
Of course it is.
So, not only is this, like, super valuable thing, a thing that you can pre-order now, everyone already has, and it's not coming out till fourth quarter of this year.
No.
It looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looks pretty dope. I do love that it's the battle damaged version. It's got like the weird smoky burns that the Megazord would get during the show sometimes.
Yes.
It's a very cool set. You can tell the toy companies just know that Power Rangers fans are like in their like early 30s now and have disposable income, and they're buying all their old toys back.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, if I had over $1,000 to spend, I'd probably still buy a PlayStation 5. But if I had an extra $1,000 on top of that, I might consider buying this. This is currently the most expensive Power Rangers item on Big Bad Toy Store, by the way.
Jesus.
Yes, and it makes sense. Now, from Power Rangers to Warhammer, which I know you're a fan of, Matt. You've been getting right into painting the Warhammers.
I have, yeah.
I have also been dipping my toes into Warhammer because I've been playing Darktide.
Nice.
It's a game that I love and also hate at the same time. I love it because the minute-to-minute action is great. I hate it because they're really trying to wring money out of you Destiny style, and they cut features that Vermintide had. I'm like, no, you guys, it's like, you guys had the perfect formula in Vermintide, why didn't you keep these things?
Yeah, no.
Also, playing that game taught me a hard lesson about PC gaming, where I'm like, okay, time to play this new game, it searches for my settings, and they're like, ooh, we're gonna have to put you on the lowest settings, sir. I'm like, why? My computer was top of the line 5 years ago when I bought it. Fuck me. Yeah, man, you gotta upgrade your shit every couple years if you want to keep up. And and Dark Tide is one of those like eye melting games where it's like, no, there's 100 enemies on screen at once, and you can chop off individual body parts and the crowd mechanics. I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I was looking into that too. I'm like, okay, well, how much does it cost for more RAM and a new graphics card? And like, okay, yeah, now I see why I was a console gamer for so long.
Exactly.
I also don't know how to change any of this stuff out, which means I would have to pay someone else to do it for me. And I'd probably need a bigger case, because I bought a pre-assembled computer, so I'd probably need a new case to go with it.
New case, which means you need a new motherboard as well.
Oh, is that a thing? There you go.
Yep.
God damn, see, friggin' the joys of PC ownership. But yes, this is the Warhammer 40k Black Legion Chaos Space Marines, and because I played Dark Tide, I kind of know what those words mean now.
Yes, and I actually have a box of them right here.
For those wondering, that's $214.
Yeah, I didn't pay that much for these ones. I got these
good.
ones on sale, and yeah, I've been like painting them up over the last couple of days.
For those who don't know, Warhammer, these are minis. That's like $200+ for 3 minis.
Yeah, well, I got a set of 10, which is pretty good.
Oh, right on. Now, does that include paint?
No, it doesn't. It's just the minis that you have to assemble. And yeah, oh man, I've got like so many fucking paints.
What a beautiful racket they've discovered. We'll sell you the unpainted figures, then we'll sell you the paint.
The paints, yeah. It's like, do you want it to be battle ready or buy these paints, or do you want it to be parade ready? Buy these paints.
Oh, that's, man, the Warhammer company, they figured it out, man. They really figured it out.
Oh man, they've got me. Yeah,
they got you. When you said you're into Warhammer, that's tantamount to my friend being like, hey, so I started smoking a little crack today, just to try it out. I mean,
that's not the only thing. I'll see if I can get it for you. I'll show you. I've got like a
Please do.
Oh, where is it? Here it is. I got like the bigger.
Oh shit,
the big one.
That was
which
my
I haven't put together yet. I'm going to put together over Christmas.
That was my question too. I'm like, is there only minis or are there big ones too?
That's one of the bigger ones, yeah.
That's pretty friggin' cool.
But they've also started doing McFarlane Toys. Have started doing.
That's a good fit, actually.
They've started doing these.
Oh, yeah, McFarlane Toys is a good fit for Warhammer, because that's very much a Todd Toys aesthetic.
And they do artist-proof versions, which you can paint yourself.
Oh, that's smart.
That's what I did with that one.
That's so many ways to get you, so many ways to try this delicious nerd crack. Lots of people are trying it, Joel. There's gotta be something to. I bet it feels great to smoke this Warhammer crack.
Good. It's pretty good crack. Yeah,
it's pretty good crack, man. Keeps me up for days. Smooth, keeps me up for days. Chaos, Emperor of mankind. So yeah, I put that in there just for Matt, and I'm glad that he took this bit to the next level. Now, obviously, of course, that's not the only models you've been building, Matt. You even got me into these Mobile Suit Gundam, which of course is one of the biggest names in anime and model building. The most expensive pre-order, which is indeed already sold out on their site, is the Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack Metal Structure MSN04 Sazabi. So this is like the actual mech itself and like several smaller things, because it's like basically in the hangar.
Yes, now I actually have a model of this one.
Right.
But it's not this one. Not this one.
Not this $2,000 one.
No, I was going to get it down for this one. I saw the picture, but it's up on my shelf.
Again, I don't know much about Gundam, but I do know Char is like the coolest guy, and Char's Counterattack is like the movie everyone loves. And yeah, this is pretty sick.
It's pretty good. It doesn't say what it is, but I imagine that it's a PG level, which is the perfect grade one, which I've got actually. I've got the perfect grade RX-78, the hero Gundam. That I'm gonna put together over the Christmas break as well, which I'm looking forward to.
So this is coming out in February of next year. Pre-orders are sold out, and the site has here. It didn't have it for any of the other ones. Limit one per customer.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, because I imagine like if you didn't, people would buy a heap of them and resell them for ridiculous prices.
Yeah, you can't have all the chars. No one can have all the chars.
Me just getting the PGRX was so difficult to find for like a decent price.
Oh yeah, some of these are super rare, that I know.
Yeah.
But yes, from the world of Gundam to the world of DC, the most expensive DC statuette on Big Bad Toy Store is the Dark Knight Rises Hyper Real Batman Dual Version 1/3 scale statue. So basically you can have an ultra realistic Batman or an ultra-realistic Christian Bale, just looking at you.
Yes,
all the time.
these are the ones that I find weird.
I agree.
Like I can understand like an Iron Man,
Yeah,
or something like that, but like like a Batman where you can like see like an actual real person in it. Yeah, nah, weird.
I need to see the realistic skin and hair match.
It's 1/3 scale, so technically that it's like a midget Christian Bale,
a little tiny Christian Bale that lives on my shelf and judges me all the time.
Yeah, that's
what I want. That or I have schizophrenia, I'm not sure. Shut up, little Christian Bale.
Yeah.
This will also run you $4,799.99, so about $5,000 after shipping and taxes. Also, if you want to reserve this for yourself, it'll only cost you $720 non-refundable dollars.
Jesus Christ.
This is from J&D Studios. This is apparently their bread and butter, making these hyper-real, hyper-creepy statues that can be yours for, grands on grand.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. But of course, we just can't have the DC one. We gotta have the Marvel equivalent, and the Marvel equivalent is the Avengers Loki 2.0 limited edition life-size bust. So this is just a bust. So this is Tom Hiddleston without arms or legs. This is just his torso.
It's just something I imagine a lot of his fangirls would love.
Yeah.
An armless, legless Tom Hiddleston.
He can't run away, Matt. He can't run away. He has to listen to my fan fiction. This one's a little cheaper actually because it's just a torso. This one will only run you about $4,000 or $3,999.99.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. Like again, I understand it's a bust, and this is currently the most expensive Marvel thing on their website.
Okay.
Holy crap. But we're not done with torsos yet, because for the low price of $5,000, $399, you can get the Transformers Premium Collection Series Megatron scale bust. Now, this makes sense because he's a robot. It's fine that he doesn't have arms and legs.
Yeah. These are the types of things I think should be busts, or like those 1/3 scale things. Yeah, where it's a robot. It makes kind of sense.
Yeah, it costs exactly the same, but they have it in Megatron and in the original Optimus too.
Ooh, nice.
And these look really shiny and really well sculpted, and you can see all the little gears and all the little tubes and everything.
Yes, that looks really cool.
If I was to get any of the busts, I would get this. And also, when I was putting this video together, I noticed that they're reselling new upgraded versions of the old Beast War figures.
Ooh, all like 6-inch or something?
Yes. Yeah, I got the itch real bad because I'm like, look, I'm not the biggest Transformers guy.
No.
It's like I respect it. I know it did its thing. I know it has an important place in nerd culture. But I grew up with the Beast Wars, man, and I had all those toys that they're now reselling in beautiful die-cast recreations.
Yes. I had that thought like literally last week, where I was out doing Christmas shopping, and I saw like there was like an aisle with like all the different Transformers stuff, and I saw like it was like the Optimus, like a stylized Optimus with like his trailer and everything. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good.
But what if he was a monkey, and now they have the monkey one?
Oh my god.
Well, here's the thing. I get they're totally ripping off the Marvel Legends thing, where they're selling back your old toys to you, and they're doing it in waves. I think they had the Optimus and the Megatron one where he's a T-Rex. That one came out first, so those ones are like hundreds of dollars now. And the second wave is like Cheetor, Rhinox, Rat Trap, the Tarantula guy, and the Spider Woman. And I'm just like, I remember all of those.
I remember all of them, yeah.
And when they're done with this, they're going to do Trans Metals, and they're going to do the one where Megatron becomes a dragon and the big fire ant.
No.
And I just get itchy, and I just get fiending, and I'm like, Joel, you gotta get off this site, man. This is bad for you.
Yeah, I think it was on Twitter today or yesterday, this guy I follow, he got his hands on, there's like some new Optimus Prime that's like voice controlled, and it like moves and stuff. It does like push-ups
and stuff. Yes, I saw
that. Yeah, and it can transform into the truck on itself and everything. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
That's again, I saw this on TikTok because I regret to say I spend more time on TikTok these days. A girl had actually gotten it for her father, who grew up in the 80s watching the original, and he loved Peter Cullen, and Optimus was her favorite, or his favorite, and she surprised him with, it's like, hey dad, look what I got. She's like, is that Optimus? Yeah, and it kicks and it transforms when you talk to it. And to see this adult man become a child again and be like, Optimus is my friend and transforms when I tell him to. Just a beautiful moment. Track it down, everyone. It's so totally sweet. And I'm trying to think for my father what the equivalent of that would be. I guess would be if I got those like orange cowboys and Indians again that they used to make.
Yeah.
That, like, again, my father, a child of the 60s. I believe, what is it? Friggin' Venture Brothers made a joke about those. But yeah, so that's the list, everyone. I hope you had some Christmas fun on this one, looking at incredibly expensive toys that we may never own, but boy, they're fun to look at.
No.
But hey, you could win the lottery. You could have a rich distant uncle die, and leave you a bunch of money in his will, assuming you stay in his haunted mansion for a night. And if you did, maybe you can afford the Megatron bust.
Yeah, maybe you can buy a Christian Bale, yeah.
Yeah, buy a little Christian Bale, who will, of course, become possessed by the ghost in your uncle's haunted mansion and then chase you around.
Yes, the demonic spirit of Patrick Bateman will come back and get you, yeah.
Man, we're writing a great movie right now, I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty stellar. But Bale's already attached. He's like, I love it, I'm in. I'm all about it. And then we can stream that movie in the Batman theater.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all coming together. And then we can keep all our other, expensive crap in there, too. So there you go, everyone. We're going to start winding this one down. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope you could make your Christmas a little bit brighter. As I said, I hope you got what you wanted. And if not, I hope you got the receipts. Hope your family didn't drive you too crazy. And I hope you have lots of leftovers from Christmas dinner.
Yeah, because they're always the best.
They are. I hope you can do that thing where, like, you get the leftover rolls and everything, and you, like, put the turkey and the stuffing and the gravy on top of it, and you make, like, a Christmas dinner slider. That's the best sandwich ever.
Yes.
It's the best sandwich because you could only have it, like, maybe once or twice a year when there's, like, turkey or ham on the menu.
Exactly.
That's why it's the best sandwich ever. So thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging out and everything. And Matt and I will be back again in the new year. We're going to be counting down our just favorite stuff of the year in general.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of cool shit out this year.
It really was. And, as I sat and made my list there, I'm like, man, I saw so much TV this year, finished basically no games, and didn't see near enough movies. So that's my thing for, like, Christmas, New Year, holidays. I gotta try and watch some of these movies. And thank you, everyone who recommended me movies in the last episode. That was actually really helpful.
Nice.
There was quite a few titles on there where I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta see that.
Cool.
Also, when's Dragon Ball Superhero coming out? I know, like, the Japanese Blu-ray is out, but the English dub isn't out yet, and it came out in the friggin' summer.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
I don't think they've said it. I think everyone says that it should be, like, any day now.
Yeah, I've got like a list of anime I'm going to be catching up on my month long off of work, and Dragon Ball Super is on there because I got up to the start of like the Goku Black stuff.
Yeah, see, I started again with Super because it's like you get the first 2 seasons that are based on the movies, which I like. But then it's like, it's such a slog to get to, like, the new stuff, because, I'm trying to get to the Goku Black stuff, and I know it kept going.
There's so much filler.
There is, but, like, it's more fun filler than GT. It's closer to Ball, so, like, I don't hate it. Like,
that's true. That's fair.
Like, GT drove me fucking crazy with that shit, and that's why I don't go back and watch Z as much anymore. I like how much more playful it can be. And and I wanted to get back into it too because I know they got like cool stuff happening now in the manga with like Frieza Black and everything else.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, okay, I gotta get back into this now.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching and listening, and Matt and I will be back again next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Merry Christmas and God bless us. God bless us, everyone. Bye-bye.